Welcome to Outside Views Politics 101. Today we're exploring a topic that has reshaped the foundations of German democracy. The new German electoral law and its application in the general election on February 23rd this year. And this election marks the first time the revised rules will be applied, and understanding them is essential to grasp how Germany's political system is evolving. We'll break down how the German electoral system works, the changes introduced by the new law, and how a critical ruling by the German Constitutional Court has, at least for the time being, modified these changes. Let's start with the basics of Germany's electoral system as it stood before the reforms were introduced. Germany has a mixed member proportional representation system. Each voter has two votes. The first vote, or Erststimme, is for a candidate in their local constituency, while the second vote, or Zweitstimme, is for a political party. The Zweitstimme determines the overall proportional distribution of seats in the Bundestag, or federal parliament, while the Erststimme allows voters to directly elect representatives in their constituencies. However, the system faced a long-standing challenge with overhang and compensatory seats. If a party won more direct mandates in constituencies than it was entitled to based on its Zweitstimme share, it received additional overhang seats. To maintain proportionality, compensatory seats were added for other parties. Over time, this led to an ever-expanding Bundestag, which currently has 736 members, well above the original target of 598. And this bloated system became inefficient, costly, and a focus of public criticism, prompting the need for reform. Now let's discuss the key changes introduced by the new electoral law and how they aim to address these issues. The most significant change is the elimination of overhang and compensatory seats. Under the new law, the Bundestag is capped at 630 members, which is slightly larger than the original target, but significantly smaller than its current size. The key to achieving this cap lies in how direct mandates are allocated. In the past, winning a direct mandate in a constituency guaranteed a seat in the Bundestag, regardless of the party's proportional vote share. And this is no longer the case. Under the new law, a candidate can win their constituency, but still lose their seat if their party's overall vote share does not justify the number of direct mandates it has won nationwide. For example, if a party wins 50 direct mandates but is entitled to only 40 seats based on its Zweitstimme, only the top 40 candidates with the highest vote percentages will enter the Bundestag. And this ensures that the overall size of the Bundestag remains within the cap and that proportionality is strictly maintained. Another major change concerns the so-called three-mandate rule, which previously allowed parties to enter the Bundestag if they won at least 3 direct mandates, even if they didn't meet the 5% national threshold that we have. The new law initially eliminated this rule, requiring parties to meet the 5% threshold to gain representation. However, this aspect was challenged in court as well. And this brings us to the German Constitutional Court's intervention, which has slightly modified the reform. In a recent decision, the court ruled that completely eliminating the three-mandate rule would disproportionately disadvantage smaller regional parties. And to address this, the court reinstated a modified version of the rule. In principle, the rules for voting should be clear 1 year before the election, and to be on the safe side, the court has therefore ordered a transitional rule relating to the issue of this so-called barrier clause. Until a new regulation is introduced on this point, the 5% hurdle will continue to apply, combined with a basic mandate clause. That is, a party will enter the Bundestag with a result of its second votes if it has won 3 direct mandates but still not 5%. The court also emphasized the importance of balancing proportional representation with the principle of effective governance. And this ruling underscores the complexities of electoral reform in a federal system like Germany's, where diverse regional interests must be carefully considered. So what does this mean for the election on February 23rd? First, the Zweitstimme now carries even greater weight. It directly determines the proportional distribution of seats in the Bundestag, making it the most critical factor in shaping the parliament. Voters and parties alike must focus heavily on this second vote to influence the overall composition of the Bundestag. Second, the modified three-mandate rule ensures that smaller regional parties still have a pathway into the Bundestag, but it's now more limited. And this could encourage such parties to concentrate their efforts on winning a few key constituencies rather than spreading their resources thin. And third, the capped size of 630 members means a more streamlined Bundestag. This could lead to more competitive races, particularly for smaller parties and marginal constituencies, where every voter will matter even more. My home constituency is one of those. However, the new system also introduces challenges. The fact that a candidate can win their constituency but not take their seat if their party's Zweitstimme share is insufficient could lead to voter confusion or voter frustration. It also risks weakening the link between constituents and their directly elected representatives. Critics have also pointed out that the focus on proportional representation could disadvantage smaller parties that fail to meet the 5% threshold, especially if they cannot secure at least 3 direct mandates. At the same time, larger parties may benefit from the more streamlined allocation of seats. Despite these concerns, the reforms represent a significant step forward in addressing the inefficiencies of the old system. I'm not a friend of this reform, by the way, but it exists. But by capping the Bundestag's size and emphasizing proportionality, the new law aims to create a more effective and balanced parliament. For voters, understanding these changes is crucial, because split vote is not a good idea anymore. And the emphasis on the Zweitstimme means that party platforms and national campaigns will play an even greater role in shaping voter decisions. At the same time, the revised three-mandate rule gives smaller parties a clearer strategy to secure representation. So thank you for joining me today on Outside Views Politics 101. And if you found this explanation of Germany's new electoral law insightful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share your thoughts in the comments below the video. This is Outside Views Politics 101, and I look forward to seeing you next time as we analyze another critical topic shaping our political world. And the next video is already right here in the end screen.